Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to witness your son choking and feel completely paralyzed in doing anything? Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitator of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at the Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called the Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. Visit us at our website at vpnursing.com. And don't forget to hit the calendar link above if you want to create another stream of income and leverage the knowledge you already know as a nurse. Our special guest today is Felicia Jackson. Felicia, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. I got it wrong the first time and I got it wrong the second time. Now, give us a brief bite. Thank you, first of all, for being on the show so that we can give healthcare professionals some hope and let them know that we're here for them. So now give us a brief bio of you and what's your primary reasoning for becoming a healthcare professional.
Right. My name is Felicia Jackson. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And in my previous life, before being an entrepreneur, I was a physical therapist assistant. I've been in the medical field for over 20 years, working in acute care, outpatient, and home health care, just taking care of patients. That was my lifeblood. That was the thing that I was going to do the rest of my life. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So now I'm taking care of my business so I can take care of the world, is what I always tell people.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, when we first met, you told me a story about your son choking. Now, tell us about the moment when you found him choking and what were your feelings in that moment?
Right. Well, so the story goes, it was my son's 20 now, and he was 2 years old at the time. I have three children, two girls and a boy, and he was my baby. And we were driving, taking a much needed break, my husband and my children. And we were driving, and they call me a helicopter mom because I'm always looking at my children, always making sure they're okay. But this one particular time, I turned back to look at my son just to make sure they were okay. And I noticed that he was choking, and he was trying to cry. Nothing was coming out. So I screamed to my husband to pull over, pull over. And when we got to the side of the road, my husband ran to his car seat, took him out of his car seat and gave him to me because at the time I was working in the hospital and we were CPR certified every year. I take our son into my hands and I look at him, and what they call it circling the drain. I mean, he was going into unconsciousness, and I could not react. I just started screaming and shaking him. And my husband saw that I was panicking, and my husband's military, but he hadn't been CPR certified in many, many years. And he saved his life. I was happy that he was able to save his life, but I was so devastated with myself for not reacting. How could that happen? And just imagine if I could forget, what about all the people that are not healthcare professionals, and don't know CPR? What were they doing this time of need?
That's right. That's right. Because it's a whole different ball game whenever you're dealing with your family. The game changes, completely changes whenever you're dealing with, a family member as opposed to, dealing with patients. You can take a very objective type of stance on it, whereas you can't really with your children. Now, as a result of this incident, what drastic action did you take?
Right. So I re-upped on my CPR skills. I did that. But then I'm a serial inventor, but I'm a procrastinator too. So I never followed through with a lot of things that I do. But this one particular time, I just kept thinking, what can I do? What can I do to be part of the solution? And I actually had a dream, and I have these vivid dreams a lot, but I never think anything of it. But I do keep a book by my bed, a little spiral notebook I keep that I trace stuff, that I wanna don't want to forget about. And so I had a dream of this product, and it was so vivid. A guy was laying in the street. Uh, Something was over his chest. Somebody was administering CPR, and they revived him. And so I honed in on what that was on top of his chest. Woke up, drew it, and I sat on it. I sat on that. My procrastination then again. So I sat on that image for a few more years until I started thinking about it again. And I looked at it and I thought, well, hey, no time like today. And I started researching patent. I started researching the FDA, things that I needed to do if I wanted to get a medical product out into the world. And I just did I nonstop. And I invented CPR wrap.
I love it. I love it. So tell us what CPR wrap, what it actually is.
Right. So CPR wrap is a all-in-one's template, and that template provides any non-medical responder, gives them the ability, empowers them. I always love to say it empowers them to save a life. It has a one-way valve, attached one-way valve mouth barrier, uh, simple hand compressions, and simple instructions that can any non-medical person can read, and they're aligned with the American Heart Association. So you have everything that you need to administer CPR in the time of need, even if you're not certified. And I made them in adult, child, and infant sizes.
I love it. I love it. And when I first saw it, I thought it was just innovative to just put the writing there so that you just, even if you forget it, right, you
Right.
see exactly what you need to do in that moment. So I thought that was pretty good. Let the Lord have me some vivid dreams. I love it. So now tell us a story where God confirmed to you that this product needed to be on the market.
Right. So I actually posted this, oh my goodness, the other day. I got a lot of feedback from it. And I hear this a lot. I'm a new startup, and we don't do a lot of things nationally. So I post and I just hope that, the right person sees it. And so this particular time, this lady called me, or she sent me a message, and she wanted to tell me about the product. And it was like I was getting ready to hear, like, okay, this is somebody that's going to give me affirmation. I love it. I love what you're doing, because I love that, because that keeps me grounded and keeps me pushing forward. And then she started her story, and it was like her husband, her husband was CPR certified a few days prior. And she said her husband was getting up to go to work, and they always keep their baby in the bed with them. And she turned around. She was getting up after her husband had left work. She turned around to get the baby up, and the baby wasn't moving. So she was shaking the baby and noticed that the baby had stopped breathing. And so she panicked. She said she didn't do anything. She called 911, and then she called her husband. And she said, oh my God, the baby didn't make it, unfortunately. And she just kept saying, oh my God, she just couldn't react. And that brought me back to my moment and my son where I couldn't react. But she said the few days later, she had saw my product on Facebook, and she was thinking to herself, what if I would have had that? Maybe it would have helped me save my son's life, maybe not, but I would have done something. I would have had a guide, something to help me, do something. Oh my goodness. That was one of the most heartbreaking stories that I've heard, but I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot. So now I know I have to get this product out
But
soon.
that just pushes you, right? That
Yeah.
pushes you because well, like you said, if you're a procrastinator, sometimes you don't do things initially, right? But once you hear stories like that, you're like, okay, God, this is your push. Push me off the cliff, okay?
Right. Right.
Push me.
Right. I
Right?
hear you. Right.
Exactly, exactly. Now, you were on TED Talk. Now, how did you land the opportunity to get at this coveted spot?
My goodness. I know. It's funny because I really didn't know what TED Talk was. I've seen it a few,
Okay.
people talk, but I really didn't understand what TED Talk was, or how big it was. And so I've just started my business, and I go around and I do pitch competitions. And these students and these people at Baylor, the school Baylor, were in the audience that day. And they came up to my table because after the pitch competition, we display whatever service or product that we're talking about. And they said, "We love your story. We love your product. We love you. And we want you to do a TEDx talk."
Ah,
And I said yes to every. During that time, I didn't know what no meant. And I used to say yes to everything, even things I probably should not have. And I said yes, even before I knew what it was about. And they told me how many people were going to be there, who it was going to be broadcast to. And I was an introvert. I hated talking in front of people. I swear I did. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? But I did it. I prepared. And when I got up on that stage, the first few seconds were, I was terrified. But after that, I don't even remember what I said. And I look out in the audience, 9 minutes have passed, and people were giving me a standing ovation.
ah, love it.
So whatever it is I said, I have to go back and look at it. I hate
Well,
watching
it's on
myself
your
do it.
website. It's on your
I
website.
know.
Kamisha said, phenomenal, way to go, TEDx. And then another Facebook user, which if you give StreamYard permission, then I can see who you are. But it just they say awesome. Yes, this is such an awesome product for sure. Now, what are some of the challenges you have for going into business for yourself?
Right. Oh, so many. So many. Being a woman of color and a female. It, you know, I didn't understand, before I even started a business, the things, all the barriers that female entrepreneurs had trying to start a business, but there are in abundance. You have so many strikes against you, even before you start. It is amazing how we continue forward. But oh God, it's so many. I can tell you, financial, that's a big one. I've been invited to pitch in front of companies where I've been the only woman of color to actually grace their doors to pitch and didn't get it. It's crazy. I've but going back to money, this is a good one. I'm gonna tell you this one here. So when I actually started the company, I drained our 401k.
Mhm.
I quit my job, actually, just quit my job. Didn't tell my husband that that's a bad thing. Didn't tell my husband until after. It's like, okay, I've got to eventually tell him. He's going to know money's not coming in. Oh boy, that was awful. And so I had a meeting with this group. I know now it was a group of doctors, and they offered me $1.2 million for my company, for 80% of my company. They wanted me to stay on to spearhead it, to be the face of the company. And we had almost lost our home. We had lost both of our cars, or one of our cars, excuse me, one of our cars, and almost lost our house. And that money, and they brought a check. Who does this? They brought money to the meeting. So I excused myself. I said, wait a minute. I had a mentor, two mentors that I always call.
Mhm,
Went to the bathroom,
mhm,
called them on the phone.
mhm,
This is what's going down. I
mhm,
have all of this money in front of me. You know that I'm literally financially dying here.
mhm.
What should I do? And they told me to, Felicia, remember your why. We know you need this money, but think about the long run. Why did you invent this company? Are you ready to give it to someone? And I didn't. I held strong, and I turned the money down, and I'm happy I did.
I love it. I love it. I love stories like that because it's so tempting, right? To take that money, but your why is huge. John Maxwell tells a very similar story. I won't go into it right now, but he tells a very similar story about how he lost $100,000 from a donor because of that. But his why was bigger than what this donor just didn't want to give to him because he was changing the trajectory of his company. But money doesn't need, because you're going to make money. money, right? And you're obviously making money, right?
Right.
So I mean,
Yes.
it's fine. Now, what are some of the advantages of being in business for yourself?
Right. So some of the advantages of being in business myself is I have a legacy. One of the biggest ones is I feel like I have a legacy to pass down to my children. And if I decide to keep the company, that's something. And then like today, my daughter, she has her degree in business management.
Hmm.
And she's working alongside of me. And to see that and know that my children, my nieces, my cousins, anyone, even people that are not related to me are watching me build this company. They're watching me fail and get back, not fail and give up, fail and get up and keep on.
Fail
Just to
forward,
see.
fail
That's right.
forward.
Yes, yes, yes. And that is what drives me. I love it. I love it because I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say they don't write a book on this. Yeah, there's several books on being an entrepreneur, but to actually get out here and do it, you
Oh,
know,
it's a whole different ball game, ain't
whole
it?
different ball game. Yes, it really is.
It really is. Yesterday my son he's a photographer, and my husband was helping him with his he had a couch that he had to take to this particular photography shoot. And I was just it was just I took a picture of him, and I was like, this is so great because we're a family of entrepreneurs, right? And it is hard, and it is not easy, and it is lonely at times. But I'm gonna tell you, the impact that you make on your children, we're building for our children. We're building for those people that are to come. So, it may seem lonely at times, but it's okay. We're going to be fine.
That's right.
Now, who has impacted your leadership the most, and why were they so impactful?
Right. Man, I had to think about this. I've been asked that question quite a bit, and I would say my mom, my mother. She's no longer with us. She passed 4 years ago. And that woman, I tell you what, I mean, she taught me how to make a way out of no way,
Mhm.
get things from the bare minimum. And I think that's what actually kept my business afloat. I mean, where I had hundreds and thousands of dollars, several um, customers, down to almost none. My burn rate, is still in the thousands, and I don't even pay myself anymore. So it's she has taught me so much coming up as a child. She is and always will be my hero and a teacher that I can always refer back to on things that she's taught us growing up.
Yes, our mamas are so super important in our lives for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, my mom is just amazing, amazing. So I love that. Now, how do you define success?
Oh, success. Success is, I don't think it's great to have money. Success is not about, having a large, like being wealthy. I think success is being able to overcome and win at things that are unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Success is being able to live to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? They say do short-term goals. I have long-term goals, but I have several short-term goals. And if I can overcome those goals and achieve them, I'm successful every day.
That's right.
I may have a failure, but I've succeeded at something every day.
One of the things that, and your perspective can be either your prison or your passport, right?
Right.
And I think that one of the things that my coach does, Tanisha, she's very like when I have a success or when other people have a success, she's like celebrating, like, yay, like huge, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to celebrate yourself, right? Because if you don't, oh my God, the times are gonna come when it's gonna be hard. But at the end of the day, you know that you are getting back up. I always say if you fall 20 times and you get back up 21, then you're not a failure. Period. Point blank in the story. So now how do you define wealth?
Oh, yes. Yes. So, like I said, money is good. Money is always good. But wealth, I think it circles back, even though they're two different words, it circles back to that, I feel. So, I'm wealthy in the love of my family. Okay. I'm wealthy that I believe in my God, and my faith, my religion. There's different tiers, I think, of wealth. and it's how you encompass those, like it's just many facets and many variables of wealth. It's just what you perceive your wealth to be. It's not always money. It can be other things as well.
Yeah, one of the things that we do at VP Nursing, well, really the nurse nurturer, our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be, financially and spiritually fit, financially stable, able to lead with integrity. And so, one of the things that we do is we have 5 pillars of success, and our 5 pillars are family, fitness, finance, spirituality, and leadership, right? Because those 5 areas, if you can kind of get some, mentoring and some, some have balance in those areas, then it helps you to feel like a success every day or feel wealthy every day. So now where can we find you and your products?
You can find us on our own e-commerce platform, which is www.cprrep.com. We're also on walmart.com as well. So
Oh,
yeah.
you better do it, girl. You better do it. I love it. I love it. So I love talking to people that are, conversing with Walmarts. I mean, I didn't know you at Walmart, but that's okay. You do your thing. I am absolutely now. So thank you for coming to share your knowledge, coming to share your expertise. The reality is that as healthcare professionals, we need to know that the possibilities are endless, and you are just a huge example of that. So I am just super excited to know you. I'm super excited that someone told me to interview you. Seneca actually told me to interview you. My name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders such as Felicia that have overcome, so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter, The Nurse Nurturing, Instagram at VP Nursing. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called The Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. Visit us at our website at vpnursing.com, and remember to hit the calendar link above if you want to create another stream of income and leverage the knowledge you already know as a nurse.